Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk to you about sinusitis. Now, sinusitis is an inflammation of the sinus cavities that are in the head, and it leads to symptoms of headaches, jaw pain. Some people will notice tooth pain. And this is a condition that we see quite regularly in our practice, and have found quite a bit of success with things like dietary modifications, nutritional supplements, herbal medicine, and acupuncture. But we also know that there's quite a bit of benefit from things like acupressure. Acupressure is something that you can do in the comfort of your own home or in the comfort of your own office, and I thought today I would teach you a few of the points that you could use in case you're working with sinusitis. Now, the first point I want to teach you is one that's on the inner edge of your eyebrow. So if you find the inner edge of your eyebrow, you can just push on this little depression on either side and just hold this point for about 1 minute. Now, some people will do circular massages, some people will use 2 fingers, and many people will use just 1 finger and just press inwards. Either of those techniques, or any of those techniques, are quite useful. Just hold for about 1 minute. The next point that I'm going to show you is just a little bit over on the eyebrow. It's just at the angle of the eyebrow. So if you follow your eyebrow along, if you need to use a mirror, of course, feel comfortable to look at a mirror to find this angle of your eyebrow. And once you get used to it, this won't be a hard point to find either, because you're going to feel another depression in this spot. This is another area to push on for about 1 minute at a time. And again, you can do both of these at the same time, or you can do one after the other. Some people will notice that one side sinuses is more filled than the other side, but it's good to do them bilaterally, so both of the points. The third point I'd like to show you is at the temples. Now, this point is where a lot of people do know where the temples are, but if you don't, there is a section that is just between the edge of the eye and the hairline. Halfway between that section is a little depression, and you should be able to feel this little tiny depression that you can push into, a little bit bigger than the ones at the eyebrows, but this should be a little spot that feels very tender, especially if you've got a headache. Hold it for about 1 minute. The next point that you can work on is one that's directly under your eyes. So right under your eyes, if you feel around in your cheekbone, you will notice another little depression. This little depression is an amazing point if you've got any jaw pain. These are the maxillary sinuses right behind your cheekbone. You can push on these for about 1 minute as well. These points are also very good for eye health. So if you've got any eye conditions happening at this time, so whether it's things like conjunctivitis, which can be secondary to sinus infection, or if it's just eye strain, this is a very useful point to work on eye health as well as sinusitis. The next point that I'd like to show you is at the edge of your nose. So this corner has just a little bit of an angle, just at the edge of your nostril. I want you to push inwards and hold for about 1 minute. And again, this point is one that you want to try to feel like you're angling in as if your fingers are joining at the back of your nose. So you're pushing inwards and holding this for about 1 minute. And again, some people will find it more useful to use the pinky finger for this because it's a small section. Just use whichever finger gives you the most pressure. Okay, so that's another point for you. One more point that I'd like to show you is actually on your hands. This point is called the master head point. The master head point is between the thumb and the first finger, and if you feel around in this fleshy area between these two joints, you will actually notice these 2 bones will connect, and there's a fleshy spot right in the middle of those 2 bones. Push on that spot. You will find one area in this section that's just a little bit more tender. That tender spot is your master head point. You want to push it and hold it for about 1 minute. Some people will find it useful to push again with 1 finger. I find it most useful to use my strongest thumb joint over here, and I can push with this knuckle. Some people will push with the top of their thumb. Whichever area gives you the most pressure, or whichever finger gives you the most pressure, that's the one that you want to use. And do it on both hands. Okay, so again, on the other hand, you will find one section between the thumb and the first finger that's going to be a little bit more tender than the other areas. Find that spot and hold it for about 1 minute. So there you've got a number of points that you can work on, and you'll notice that if you go through all of these points as you're sitting and working either at your desk or in your home, you will notice it'll only take about 5 or 6 minutes to get through all of these spots, and you will find tremendous relief from any sinus pain and congestion. I hope these points have been helpful for you. and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time and helping you put together the pieces of your healthcare puzzle. Have a great day.